Hi, I'm Miriam Pemberton. I'm a research fellow at the Institute for Policy Studies in Washington, D.C. I direct their Peace Economy Transitions project. I've been working on converting swords into plowshares for about 20 years now. When we think about what we need to do with respect to military spending, I start with the comments of the Vice Chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who was questioned by Congress recently and kind of got his back up about what all the Republicans were saying about how we have this gutted military, it's decimated, we're weakened, all of those things. He said he was as sure as he's been throughout his entire career that the U.S. military is the most powerful military on earth. There are different estimates for what the U.S. spends relative to the rest of the countries in the world. The most conservative estimate that I've seen is that the U.S. spends at least as much as the next 7 countries put together, and most of them are our allies: Great Britain, Germany, France, South Korea, India. We are spending 3 times as much as what China is spending, 6 times as much as what Russia is spending. Our military spending today is higher than at any time since World War II. The Soviet Union was our peer adversary. They were trying to match us with their military spending. They no longer exist, and no one is trying to match us now. The U.S. military has more dollars than all of the rest of the federal agencies put together. It's about 54% of the discretionary budget, that is the budget that Congress votes on every year. So there's a lot of opportunity for waste. In terms of wasteful spending, there are the mega projects. There's the largest weapon system of all time, which is the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. Current estimates for what it is going to cost to build and operate and maintain are now over $1.5 trillion. And yet, in recent tests, the F-35 performed more poorly than the planes that we already have. We start with Donald Trump. He's actually used the phrase military-industrial complex. He's talked about weapon systems that Congress puts in the budget that even the military doesn't want. And on the other hand, he is somehow going to build the military up bigger than it's ever been so that nobody messes with us. How he's going to make the military bigger than ever without spending more money. There's simply no way to do it. Ted Cruz is more kind of forthright and consistent about this stuff. So he's talked about increasing our military budget by about 1/4, so about $150 billion would raise our military spending to about 4% of our national wealth. We have Hillary Clinton. Her position on military spending comes down to the need she's felt really throughout her career to look tougher than the boys. In 2007, she talked about spending even more money on the military than George W. Bush wanted to spend. Bernie Sanders has been talking about cutting the military budget, giving speeches on the floor of the House and then the Senate since he entered Congress. I think Bernie Sanders is clearly the only candidate who is not going to be throwing money at the military that we need to be spending on other things. My organization, the Institute for Policy Studies, has a lot more information on this issue, and it can be accessed at www.ips-dc.org.